So our family member, Chris Norris, is missing. And also his girlfriend is missing as well. She's pregnant right now. We are, as a family, still believing that they are okay and they will be found safe.
The two people inside, police believe to be the couple, dead from gunshot wounds. Police could not say if the couple was killed at the crime scene or if the shooting happened somewhere else. Across town, about 6 miles away in College Hills, 4 people shot and killed. Police have 2 major investigations on their hands. They plead with the public. Something needs to change, and fast.
I speak to people on the east side sometimes about situations that happen on the west side. You know what they say? Oh, well, that happened on the west side. I live on the east side. I speak to people on the north side about crime in our city. You know what they say? Oh, well, that happened on the east side or the west side. I live on the north side. When is it going to become our city?
On February 15th, the Birmingham Police Department asked for the public's help in locating 20-year-old couple Angeliyah Webster and Christian Norris, who were last seen on Valentine's Day. The couple was last seen in a white Ford Taurus headed to a movie theater. Angeliyah, who was pregnant, was described as 5'4", 101 pounds, and was last seen wearing black and white pants, a black shirt with a skeleton and flowers, black and silver shoes, and light pink beads. Christian Norris was described as 5'8", 180 pounds, and was last seen wearing army green MCM shoes and a black sweater.
New this morning, Birmingham police searching for a missing couple who were last seen on Valentine's Day.
All right, take a good look at these pictures there on your screen. Police say that Christian Norris and his girlfriend Angeliyah Webster were last seen around 20th Place Ensley in a white Ford Taurus.
Just before 4 p.m. on February 16th, Birmingham police responded to the 4100 block of 10th Avenue in Birmingham's Wylam community after locating a white Ford Taurus that matched the description of the missing couple. Upon closer inspection of the vehicle, they would locate the bodies of an adult female and an adult male.
Major crime scenes across Birmingham Friday afternoon, one in College Hills, the other in Wylam.
Today has been unreal, even for the Birmingham Police Department.
The families of 20-year-old Christian Norris and 20-year-old Angeliyah Webster now waiting for the final confirmation their loved ones were found dead.
You ever had your heart just stepped on and your stomach went to the bottom of your stomach? Yeah, that's what that was like.
The victims were identified as 20-year-old expecting mother Angeliyah Webster and her boyfriend and father of her child, 20-year-old Christian Norris, who were both sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to multiple gunshot wounds.
You know, most of the time when things like this happen, people are trying to look back at the people, trying to see who they are, what did they do, were they in trouble, were they not in trouble. None of that really matters. The only thing that matters right now is that they are found safe, and that's what we are hoping and praying for.
20-year-old Angeliyah Webster, also known as BlackGirlUnLOST, was described as loyal, outgoing, and loving by those who knew her. She was looking forward to a new chapter in her life, motherhood, and was happy to be sharing this experience with her boyfriend and father of her child, 20-year-old Christian Norris. Christian was an aspiring and well-known local rapper known as Glock World Chris, who had dreams of making it in the music business. With Angeliyah by his side, nothing seemed impossible. Little did either one of them know, an unforeseen moment of violence would shut all of their dreams down in the blink of a second, leaving their families and communities shook.
Our patrol officers and detectives are on the scene of a double homicide. How did we get here? Yesterday, our patrol officers completed a missing persons report for 2 missing persons.
A look into the case revealed that the couple had been reported missing the day prior, and now less than 24 hours later, both were found deceased. Police stated that the couple was last seen on Valentine's Day around 5 p.m. in the 1500 block of 20th Place in the Ensley neighborhood and believed to have been heading to an unknown movie theater in a white Ford Taurus. The investigation follows a deadly shooting in the College Hills community where 4 people were killed. So far this year, there have been 15 homicides in the city. Of those, 1 has been ruled justifiable and therefore is not deemed criminal. In all of the Jefferson County, there have been 18 homicides, including the 15 in Birmingham. Multiple family members responding to the scene, visibly devastated, shocked, confused, and enraged at the continuous senseless acts of violence that continues to plague the city, never once imagining that it would be one of their own. Although this has not been confirmed or denied, there have been rumors of a possible setup over money.
He loved his family and he loved his girlfriend, and they were excited about this new baby that she was going to have.
Sharita Clark is still trying to process the fact her cousin Christian Chris Norris is gone after he, along with his girlfriend Angeliyah Webster, were discovered dead in his car. Police believe both were killed.
I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. And it keeps hitting home.
For Clark, this isn't the first family member she's lost to violence.
My brother was great to me. He was like a father to me. His name was Quintez, and we called him Fella, but his name was Quintez Wilson, and he was murdered in 2008.
A member of Parents Against Violence, Clark is actively trying to stop the killings. After Friday, she's questioning if she's doing enough.
I really want to believe that we're making a difference, but it is very hard. It's very hard to keep doing it. And then you keep seeing these kind of results. We had four murders on one side of town, 2 on a whole nother side of town. It's more than enough.
After losing Chris, Clark says she refuses to stay silent and is urging others to do the same.
People don't want to snitch, as they say. And the thing is, everyone wants you to talk when it's their family member that's been murdered. And that is a problem in our community, and I'm talking about black men killing other black men. I think if all of us do our part, then we can eradicate some of this.
As of right now, the investigation is in its early stages, and police will work to confirm where, when, and why the victims were killed. Family, along with law enforcement, are encouraging anyone with information to come forward. The case remains ongoing.
Right now, our patrol officers and detectives are on the scene of a double homicide. How did we get here? Yesterday, our patrol officers completed a missing persons report for 2 missing persons by the name of 20-year-old Angeliyah Webster and 20-year-old Christian Norris. They're both 20 years old. They went out on Valentine's Day. Apparently they were going to the movie theater. They were driving a white Ford Taurus. Our Special Victims Unit began investigating this case, and they reached out to the Public Information Division to put this information on social media. We posted this information on social media that we have been looking for these 2 since yesterday. Our SVU detectives have been working on this case through the whole night, through the whole morning, and just before 4 p.m., those Special Victim Units investigation tactics led them to the 4100 block of 10th Avenue, Wylam. Our detectives, as well as patrol officers, observed a white Ford Taurus, which I have observed myself. It is the vehicle we were looking for, verified by the Alabama license plate that we had information on. Upon further investigation, our officers and detectives observed a young female inside the vehicle, along with a young male inside the vehicle. Both of them appear to be victims of a gunshot wound. They were deceased. Medical personnel pronounced them deceased. And right now in the investigation, we have the Jefferson County Coroner's Office here. We are in the process of making identifications. To the public, you deserve this. We do believe this may be the missing couple. We do believe that.
Can you confirm that the woman was pregnant?
We have heard that she possibly was pregnant.
Can you talk about how the vehicle was located too? The family mentioned that they located through GPS tracker.
Sure, we can't confirm that part. However, we would like to point out that we got here because of the hard work and dedication from our detectives. We have been receiving phone calls from our detectives all morning looking for assistance in finding this couple. And again, we put this on our social media. We had a hopeful, we hoped that this would work out, but it appears we've lost these 2 to a homicide.
So to reiterate, how did y'all end up in this alley this afternoon? Did a citizen call in? Did the family call in? How did y'all get here this afternoon?
Detectives' investigation tactics. We're going to leave it as that.
And the car was in an alley?
The car is in an alleyway. Yes, ma'am.
So if they were found dead inside the vehicle, did no one hear gunshots?
Sadly, we live in a society where gunshots are so normalized that people may not call. However, if you did hear gunshots, please call.
Does it appear that the shooting happened here or that someone drove them here after the shooting?
Unknown at this time.
Okay.
Were they shot when they were inside of the car?
Unknown at this time.
Is there a gun in the car?
Not yet. We're in the process of, not yet discovered, we're in the process of breaking down this scene. The coroner's office is here. We have taken pictures of the scene, and right now we're in the process of notifying family members who are visibly distraught.
But you believe both are victims of homicide?
Both are victims of a homicide. It's important to point that out, with them being a couple, but they both appear to have been victims of homicide.
Is it possible that this location behind this house was used as more or less a dumping spot for this, that the murders happened somewhere else, that the homicides happened in another location and they were brought here?
That could be the case.
Does anybody, I'm sorry.
No, sure. 1 second. That could be the case. Again, we're going to need help from the public. If the public has any information, if they saw anything out of place, please let us know.
Does someone live here? Do one of the two victims live here in this area?
No, ma'am. This is not an area that we've gotten any information that was common to the victims.
They are not connected to these houses, the street?
Not that we know of.
Does anyone live in the house where they were found?
Appears to be abandoned. And also, we have to make this reference because we've had a significant scene take place on another side of town. We do not believe this scene is connected to any of the homicides that took place on the north side of town. This is a separate incident.
Going back to that scene, can you confirm the shots were fired at that scene not too long ago?
We're going to stick to this scene here, but we just want to point that out because that may be a question that our media partners have had and the public might have, but it's not connected. These are two separate homicide investigations.
What's it like for BPD having to be kind of spread out with so much violence happening in one day? There's 5 people who have lost their life tonight.
Today has been unreal, even for the Birmingham Police Department. Last year, we suffered 135 homicides in our city, which is an alarming number. To sit here and lose 6 community members in one day is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Where does the 6th
The 4th person passed away. So we have lost, Birmingham, we have lost 6 of our community members in one day. That is ridiculous. We are going to make national news. We might make international news. 6 homicides in Birmingham in less than 24 hours. It's ridiculous.
The 4th victim that was in surgery at UAB
Passed away.
Okay.
We have lost 6 of our brothers and sisters today due to violence.
How do you get the message across?
Well, first and foremost, we get the message to the public that as long as we keep quiet, people are going to feel emboldened to do violence the way they've been conducting violence. We live in a culture where you can shoot 4 people in broad daylight and nobody has come forward yet. We live in a society where you can kill somebody in the middle of a Birmingham street and no one sees anything. And the issue we have is we do our best to disassociate ourselves from crime. Prime example, I speak to people on the east side sometimes about situations that happen on the west side. You know what they say? Oh, well, that happened on the west side. I live on the east side. I speak to people on the north side about crime in our city. You know what they say? Oh, well, that happened on the east side or the west side. I live on the north side. When is it going to become our city? That is when you'll see change. As long as we keep individualizing ourselves, we're going to have the crime that we have in our city. We have to come together as one community like all these other safe suburban communities do.